Okay. Guys, I'm so excited tonight to be here talking to you, to share more with you guys about what Plexus has done for me and my family and how much it's changed my life. We're going to have some other really awesome health stories on this call tonight, so I hope that you stick around so you can hear these amazing stories. So a little bit about me, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Katie Tucker. I am a 36-year-old mama of 3 girls. I've been married to my husband for almost 13 years. We're having our 13th wedding anniversary next week, which is crazy. And I live in Wyoming, and I have been taking Plexus products for 2.5 years, which is crazy. It's gone by really fast, but I guess time goes by fast when you're having fun. So when I started my Plexus journey, I was in the middle of a weight loss journey. I was losing weight. I had actually lost a significant amount of weight, and I had kind of hit a wall in my weight loss. It felt like I was constantly fighting cravings for sugar. My appetite was out of control. I just felt like I was fighting a losing battle, and I was actually worrying that I was going to lose all my progress because that's how bad my cravings for sugar were, and I just felt out of control. So that was the main reason why I decided to try Plexus. But a little picture of my life before Plexus: I was tired all the time. I lived for my daily nap. It was the highlight of my day. And it was like this secret. I didn't want anyone to know I did this, but I had to have a nap. I would lay my daughter down for her nap, and I would go and take a 2 to 3 hour nap. And it actually was pretty awful because I'd wake up and I didn't feel any better, and I had just lost 3 hours of my day. But that was tough, being tired all the time. It made outings exhausting. I just didn't enjoy my kids. I was also very anxious and depressed. I had a lot of that kind of stuff going on. And I've been on and off meds for that kind of stuff my whole life. But it was always a struggle. I didn't really realize that staying up at night worrying about things is anxiety. I didn't realize that just having fears over little things all the time was anxiety. I was always blue. I just always felt really sad and just never had much joy. My life was pretty joyless. I don't know how else to say it. It just wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't rewarding. It didn't have, it just didn't have that quality that I wanted. And I wanted nothing more when I was growing up than to be a mom. It was all I ever wanted. And I wasn't being the mom I wanted to be. And so Plexus came along in my life when, I started it for my weight loss, but I was really pleasantly surprised at the effect that this had on my anxiety and depression and my energy. Those were the 3 biggest things that I was struggling with. As a young mom, I had 3 kids. I just felt like I wasn't doing it how I wanted. And so Plexus really gave me back the life that I wanted, that I didn't know how to get back. And I didn't realize I had such gut health issues and imbalances. And so fast forward now to 2.5 years, I've lost an additional 25 pounds. I'm almost to my goal weight. It has been a slow and steady process, but the thing that I love the most is I've lost inches. I don't feel sad anymore. I just am happy-go-lucky with my kids. I don't freak out over little things. I mean, who else can relate to that, right? So anyway, Plexus has really just given me my life back. I have such a great relationship with my husband now. I'm able to be a better friend to my friends and a better daughter and a better sister. And it's really just improved a lot of different areas in my life, areas that I didn't realize I was struggling with. So I'm going to take just a few minutes to talk about our Triplex system. And then we're going to hear from a few ladies of their health stories and how Plexus has changed their life. So for those of you who don't know what the Triplex system is, when we say the Triplex, we're talking about three things: the Slim, the Bio Cleanse, and the ProBio 5. So I'm going to talk about each of these items individually and kind of just break down what they do and why these products are so unique to other supplements that are out there. Because these products are very, very different. This is not your usual GNC vitamins. Like, these are going to heal your gut and balance your body and give you the life that you want. So this is our triplex system. And the main purpose of this system is three things. You're gonna heal your gut, you're gonna balance your blood sugars, and you're going to reduce the inflammation that you have in your body. Everyone has an imbalance in all three of those areas to some degree. So this system is really beautiful because those three things are the pillars of your health. If you have your blood sugars balanced, your gut healthy, and your inflammation under control, your health is really going to reflect that, and you're going to see changes in every aspect of your health and in your life. So the Slim, I know it says Slim, and that can be kind of misleading, but this is actually a blood sugar balancing drink, and it does so much more. But the main purpose of this is to balance your blood sugars. This was actually designed by an endocrinologist to help diabetics balance their blood sugars, okay? Balanced blood sugars is really, really important to your overall health and wellness. This is a mildly sweet drink. I think it tastes like lemonade. I love the flavor. And it's equal to 8 cups of broccoli. It's really, really good for you. The main ingredient in this is chromium, and chromium controls insulin. And when you have, insulin is our master hormone, okay, guys? So when you have your master hormone balanced, what it's going to do is it's going to affect all the rest of your hormones, because when you have your master hormone balanced, it's going to have a trickle-down effect on the rest of your hormones. So those of you who are struggling with hormone imbalances, this is going to be a game changer for your health. So also, having balanced blood sugars is going to help you with your appetite and your cravings, because when your blood sugars are going up and down all the time, it's going to cause spikes in your hunger. It's going to make you tired. You're going to have headaches. This takes care of that problem. I actually drink 2 of these a day because I have serious weight loss goals. I love this drink. I love what it does for me. So another cool thing about chromium, it aids in digestion, controls your cravings for sugar. It moves blood sugars into the cells for energy. So this is also going to be a way that Slim helps you with your energy. For those of you who are struggling to have energy, this is going to help. It also has alpha lipoic acid, which is the Mac Daddy antioxidant. So this drink is so, so, so good for you. Then when you combine it with these and you're going to get your gut healthy, you have a system that's really going to help your body to feel better. So I'm going to talk about the Bio Cleanse right now, okay? The Bio Cleanse is a magnesium supplement, and magnesium is so important. And most Americans, 9 out of 10 Americans, are deficient in this vitamin. It's so important to your health. So when you have a magnesium deficiency, you're going to have brain fog, you're going to be tired, you're going to have restless legs, you're not going to sleep very good, you're going to have mood issues. And the other really awesome thing that magnesium does is it keeps you regular. So a lot of people don't understand that constipation is a major problem today. And it's actually a really misunderstood thing, because before Plexus, I used to think that going once every other day, or like I couldn't really remember the last time I went, was normal. But what we really want is you pooping 2 to 3 times a day, because every time you eat, you should be eliminating. Because if your waste is sitting in your intestines and in your lower, oh my gosh, what's the word, guys? I'm blanking. the lower colon. Is that what it is, Nicole? I'm looking at Nicole or Jess.
Yeah, the bowel, lower,
There's a word
descending
for it.
colon.
I'm missing the word. You're
Descending colon.
there it is. So when you have waste that sits in your descending colon, guess what happens? It pokes holes in your colon, and that's how you get leaky gut. It is so important that you are eliminating regularly. Poop is such an important part of health. So the BioCleanse works hand in hand with the ProBio 5. These babies work together. They are a married couple. So the BioCleanse acts as a garbage truck in your system, and it comes along and it scoops up all of the bad bacteria. So we'll get into the ProBio 5 here, and I'll explain how they work together. So the ProBio 5 is our probiotic, and this probiotic is really unique because it has a digestive enzyme in it called chitosanase. I know that's a big word, but basically what chitosanase does is it breaks down candida. So if you guys don't know what candida yeast is a yeast that we are all born with. We need it because its main purpose is to break down our bodies when we die. So because of processed foods we eat, medications we take like antibiotics and steroids and birth control, and the food we eat, processed foods and sugars, this candida ends up feeding and overgrowing. And candida overgrowth is the source of why so many people have gut issues and tummy problems and autoimmune conditions and thyroid problems. Everything is connected to your gut, and candida is the reason behind that. So when you combine not eliminating plus you have an overgrowth of candida, you're giving yourself the perfect recipe here to have an unhealthy gut. And when you have an unhealthy gut, your entire health is going to suffer. So this little baby makes it really simple. There are candida diets out there that you can do that are extremely strict. They do get rid of candida, but guess what happens if you even have like an ounce of sugar? It's going to grow back. This makes it super easy. All you have to do is take your probiotic every day, and it's going to keep that candida yeast in balance. It's really easy. It's just such a simple, easy thing that you can do every single day. So this breaks down candida yeast and then keeps that yeast in balance, while the BioCleanse keeps your digestive tract clean and clear from all of the bad bacteria. So not only is this going to break down all of the bad bacteria and this gets it out, but this is going to put it in as well. And the other cool thing about our ProBio 5 is that it's freeze dried, which means you don't have to refrigerate it, so you can take it with you when you travel. And it does not begin releasing until it's in your intestine, your lower intestine, which is where candida yeast overgrowth happens. Most probiotics that you can get from the store, guess where they start working? In your stomach. And that is not where you want those probiotics to work. Number one, your stomach acid will kill most of the good bacteria. And number two, by the time it gets down into your lower intestines, most of it's dead. So this system is really amazing, and it just works all together to heal your body, get your gut in great shape. 80% of our serotonin is produced in our gut, not our brain. There are huge scientific studies that connect the gut to the brain. The gut is just responsible for so many things. Our immune system is in our gut, 70% of our immune system. So having a healthy gut is really important. And I promise you guys, these products are the easy button to having a healthy gut. I would love to turn the time over to my good friend, Nicole. Nicole is going to share her story and how Plexus changed her life. I'm so excited to hear from Nicole. Nicole, are you ready?
Yes, I can start. I'm just driving, but I'm almost to where I'm going. It's like right over there. I can see it. So I'm good.
Okay.
My name's Nicole. and hopefully I don't cut out since I'm driving, but my story my story is kind of complicated. I have a lot of tids and bits. Is that what you'd call it? Tids and bits? um, Mostly what happened was I had worked on my health for a really, really long time. And that was because I was diagnosed with Lyme disease. So after I started having children, I started noticing that I just wasn't feeling good. And I just chalked it up to being a tired mom. So I just started thinking, I'm more tired. I was really struggling with anxiety and depression after my first baby. And I knew nothing about gut health and really not a whole lot about health anyways. I wasn't raised eating super healthy foods. My mom had always done herbs, but I didn't know anything about gut health. And so when I started having these things, of course, I went to my doctor and he told me, you just need to work out more and get to the gym. That will help with your depression. And it did help a little bit, but I just struggled with anxiety. And then my anxiety got worse after I had my second child, like really, really bad anxiety. Like I couldn't sleep at night. And that's when I started getting deep cystic acne all along my jaw. I started getting really bad bloating. That was when my bloating started. And every time I ate, my stomach would puff up so big and it hurt and I would get stabbing pain. And so I really started looking into my health at this point and I started working on my diet. I was like, okay, I'll read about diet. I can change things around a little bit here with my diet and with exercise. And so that's what I did. And it helped, but it wasn't enough. And so I started going to doctors and getting tested for my thyroid. I got on thyroid medication, but I still didn't feel good. I didn't feel like the thyroid medication made a difference for me. And so then I ended up going to a dermatologist and he gave me cream for my face and he put me on an antibiotic and he said, you just have a bacterial infection of your skin. And so I did that and my face got better. And then the second I got off of the antibiotic, it got worse. And then my stomach pain got worse. And so it was just this like constant ripple effect over the years of just like, what is missing? Like, what is going on? And then that's when I started having miscarriages. And I finally was like, okay, I'm going to go to this specialist for hormones and I'm going to get some testing done. And he ended up testing me for different bacterial infections. And one of them was Lyme disease. And I found out I had Lyme disease. And so, and I had my thyroid problems, my Hashimoto problem. And so I got on a regimen for that and I was still struggling. And I was just like, am I just gonna die young? I honestly remember telling my husband that I always thought I would live a long life, but I thought, what is wrong with me? Like, I am missing a piece of the puzzle. I told my husband that all the time. I'm missing a piece, like something's off in my body. And so then at this time, I was having pain constantly in my right side. I went to more doctors and I thought maybe, they were like, well, it's not your appendix. It's not this. And they really didn't know. And then during my pregnancy, it hurt the whole time. I couldn't lay on my right side when I was pregnant. And then it hurt the whole couple years after my pregnancy. And then I got pregnant again and it flared up really bad at this point. I wasn't able at this point to even eat like an avocado without my side hurting. And this is when my light bulb went off in my head. I think it's my gallbladder. And I went to my OB and I said, hey, I didn't realize this, but I've had 3 generations of women that have all had their gallbladder out. And I think that it's my gallbladder. And so he started talking to me about having surgery during my pregnancy. And this is when things got really scared for me because I had already had miscarriages and I really didn't want to do surgery and jeopardize my pregnancy. And so this is when I got desperate enough that I started saying, okay, I'm going to try something else. My friend Katie here, who's talking today, had been reaching out to me and I kept saying, I don't need Plexus. I make homemade kefir. I do a probiotic. I was nice to her, but in my head, I'm like, no, like I'm doing all these things, And I was sprouting sprouts. I was eating my green drink every day. I was, doing all of the things, my essential oils, and I still was about to have my gallbladder removed. And so at this time, I decided I don't have a lot of money, but I'm going to do anything to avoid surgery, and I'm going to try it. And at that point, I started doing it, and you guys, it like changed my life. It was the missing piece to my puzzle. I don't have my chronic gallbladder pain anymore. I still am careful with my diet. I don't eat perfect 100% of the time, but I would say I don't eat gluten the majority of the time, just because I have autoimmune issues and I know that that can cause inflammation. But I'm able to feel good even if I eat those sometimes and not have a horrible reaction. My gallbladder doesn't hurt all the time. I sleep amazing. I don't have anxiety like I used to have. I just all around just feel like such a better person, and I just have so much more energy. And, you know, like I said, it's not a silver bullet that's just going to solve all your problems. You still need to take care of your body and other aspects of your life. You know, it's like you can't just take these pills and eat garbage all the time and then expect it to work. But it really was a missing piece to the puzzle when I was doing all those things and still struggling. So I love Plexus. I'll always take it. It's made a world of difference for me. That's it.
Nicole, I love your story. I never get sick of hearing it. I've heard it a few times and I still just, it's just, I mean, Nicole was this close to having her gallbladder taken out while she was pregnant. I mean, that's amazing. These products helped her so much that she didn't have to have surgery. And anyway, Nicole also has Lyme, right? Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I just,
sorry.
No, you're good. I love that part of your story too, that you have Lyme disease and you've been able to get your symptoms of that under control. So that's pretty amazing. Did you want to share anything about that, Nicole, or no?
So Lyme disease is kind of tricky because with Lyme disease, you know, some doctors believe that you can do one round of antibiotics and then bam, you're just better. But it's so much more than that, because Lyme actually creates a biofilm. And that's one thing that the chitosanase that Katie was talking about does. It opens up biofilms. And like Candida is a biofilm. And a lot of, if you go read about biofilms, it's so interesting because there's a lot of chronic illnesses that are associated with biofilms. But the one reason why it's so hard to get rid of Lyme is because essentially it hides in a shell. Like think of like a walnut shell. So it's like you take this antibiotic, it feels under attack, it hides in a shell, and the antibiotic does not penetrate the shell because it's resistant to it. Now that we're doing so many antibiotics nowadays, we have a lot of bacterial antibiotic resistant bacteria, and there's a lot of studies that show that, and Lyme is one of them. And so at the time when I was struggling with my gallbladder, there's a lot of association between gallbladder and liver pain and Lyme people, because our liver is our big detoxifier. Anyways, I could go into more details, but pretty much I wasn't sure if I was relapsing on my Lyme or if I had killed it 100% before. And so doing this, I have felt like I've been able to keep my symptoms under control that I was having before as well. Because I still struggle sometimes with like arthritic pain and things like that. And if I stay on this regimen, I feel so much better.
That's amazing. Thanks, Nicole. Sorry, I just wanted to hear a little bit about that because that's pretty big deal. There's a lot of people out there who are being diagnosed with Lyme that I think your story could help. Thanks, Nicole, for sharing. You're amazing.
Thanks.
So now we're going to hear from my beautiful friend, Carrie. Carrie, how long has it been that you've been on Plexus now? Has it been 4 months?
3 months, almost 4, about 3.5. I started June 5th.
That's fantastic. So can you walk us through what life was like before Plexus and what it looks like now? Can you share your story with us?
Sure can. Hi, I'm Carrie, for those of you who don't know me. I'm 49 years old and I have 5 sons, 3 of my own and 2 by marriage to Steve. I've had migraines for a good 25 years. And when I was 36, I went to college and then I somehow got IBS with that. So being a single mom for 7 years, it was very stressful, and having the migraines, I didn't fully realize that's what it was. And I had gone many days where I lost time with my children and my husband because I would be down and out for the day. I could not stand noise, the light. I was just very nauseous and just horrible. Whoever suffers from migraines can appreciate it. You lose a lot of your life from it because you're pretty much gone for the day and a few days after. It's not just like a small or a big headache that if you take some Excedrin, it goes away. I was on Imitrex. I would sometimes have to take steroids because I would have headaches for sometimes weeks at a time. And the steroids made me bitchy and bloated and not a very nice person to be around. And then I also had to get shots in the back of my head to block the pain on my head, just to wear my hair up like it is right now, or any bandanas or anything like that in my hair. I had to have my head blocked, but it still didn't take the migraines away. I suffered from inflammation because of the antibiotics I was on, the steroids. And then when I was 40, I had a hysterectomy and started menopause thereafter. The IBS got so bad that I had to have 2 colonoscopies by the time I was 45 because I was going a month at a time without having a bowel movement, which is not good. So I know for sure that I had the leaky gut, but I just didn't know it at that time. And the doctors were telling me that the weight that I was gaining, which ended up being 50 pounds over 5 or 6 years, I had never been that heavy. Even with Justin's pregnancy, he was the heaviest one I had, and I was 185 pounds there. So I was at my worst stage. I was very depressed, had anxieties from the migraines and also from the weight gain. And I was at my limit. I was on Effexor for the depression and anxiety. I was having the monthly shots. I was on the Miralax and coconut oil to help with the IBS. And I still wasn't feeling well. I felt like an 85-year-old woman just getting up from the chair, from my desk, and walking up and down the steps. I was awful. My husband even had made the comment about me just being 49, but acting like I was an 85-year-old. And our relationship wasn't good because I wasn't able to function a lot of the times, and I missed out on that time with him, with my kids, just important events. Jump ahead, I had a friend 5 or 6 years ago reach out to me about Plexus. I knew my husband would balk at the price, but and back then it wasn't like it is now. But I just wasn't sure because the girl who was telling me about it was younger, and she had maybe 1 or 2 kids, and her body was just younger. It could bounce back a lot easier than what mine could, and I just was a huge skeptic. I have tried different products, and nothing helped me lose weight. I maybe lost a few pounds, but it was mainly me just getting rid of water weight. So I tried exercising, and even that got to be too much because my energy level was gone. So come back to May, I think it was the end of May, I had seen my friend Pam Lane's testimonial on Facebook about her energy, and she was somebody I could trust. My son had wrestled with her son Jackson, so we knew each other for quite some time, and Mike Breen, a Marine, and Pam, an upstanding person. I just knew that if she was promoting it, it was a good thing. Not that I didn't trust Melissa, the other girl that had told me about it, but it just helped reinforce things, and I was at my limit. I just wanted to try something to help me get out of my mood, to try and lose some weight. So I started June 5th, I received my package and I started it. It was the day of Cameron's graduation. So I have pictures where I'm very fat and heavy. And I started taking the Slim twice a day. I didn't know you were supposed to take it once a day. Me, I go gung-ho for it. And I like the drink. It tastes really good. It's, and if it's too strong, you can always water it down by adding more water. And I just started noticing the energy improvement. My inflammation in my face had gone down, and I just was feeling better all over. And the main thing that really sold me on this was that I have not had a migraine, not one, since I started taking the products. And I had suffered from that for 25 years, and everything we tried did not take those away. I had read our articles while I was being treated, and my doctors had even mentioned about the benefits of magnesium and chromium, but I just never really got into the routine of having something with that. The ones that I did have, like Katie said, went to my stomach, so it wasn't giving me the full effect. And I just got really disappointed, and I got tired of it. I got tired of spending all the money on these products that it never worked. I didn't see any results. My husband, once he saw that I was not having any migraines and saw that I was starting to lose weight and had energy, he didn't feel so bad about the money then. He said it was well worth it because just a doctor's appointment alone was $400 for me to be seen for my monthly shots. 10-minute visit. So it's just a product that I feel so strongly about. It's helped me tremendously. And I just want to help those who are hurting with their symptoms silently, share this with them and try and encourage them to try the products because it will be a life changer for them as it was for me. So Katie, do you have any questions? I think that's about it for me.
No, Carrie, I actually have never heard your story in entirety before. I knew some of the things, especially your migraines that you were struggling with, but my gosh, I just can't believe that you've not had one migraine since you started. I mean, that's life-changing. And you know, these products pay for themselves. You save money in doctor's visits. I know a lot of people see the price tag, and actually Plexus products are pretty reasonably priced for high quality supplements that actually work. So you do, you know, save money in the long run when you put your health first. These are an investment. Carrie, your story is amazing, and I just want to thank you so much for opening up and sharing that with us.
Thank you.
So our last health story is going to be from my friend Jessica. Jessica's story is amazing too. I mean, all of these ladies have such amazing stories. I can't wait for you guys to hear what Jessica was going through before Plexus and actually how long it took this girl to really heal her gut, because it was not an overnight thing for her. So Jessica, you want to take it away?
Yes. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, great. So my name is Jessica. I am a 32-year-old mom. I have 3 kids ranging from almost 3 to 7. I've been married to my husband for almost 10 years, and we're both registered nurses. I've been a nurse for about 10 years as well. For a really long time, I only believed in Western medicine. I did not learn about supplements or healing of the gut with the connection to the brain in nursing school. We just aren't taught that. And so for a really long time, I only believed in over-the-counter medications, antibiotic therapy, and really it was a disadvantage to me later in my years of living. So my health journey really started probably 5 years ago, but really 3 years ago after I had my 3rd baby is when things just switched for me. I remember waking up and telling my husband that I knew I had strep throat. I've had strep throat many times in my life. I had a tonsillectomy when I was 10 days before my wedding. So I knew that route. And so I went straight to the doctor. He did a swab. It came back negative. And then 2 weeks later, I still had that same pain. So he just treated with an antibiotic. And from that point, I was on probably 10 rounds of antibiotics every single year. In 2018, I was treated with 7 different antibiotics, different spectrums. This sore throat led to candida overgrowth on my tongue. My tongue was as white and very, very thick. I would have to scrape it with my tongue scraper every night, and it would come back the next morning. I started having really bad hair loss. I would pick up clumps from the drain. And then I started having this serious bloating. I would have to unbutton my pants after meals. I was super tired. I took a nap every single day. I would throw my kids' iPads, and I've told many of you before, I was the mom that slept during quiet time when my little newborn was asleep, I was sleeping. I stopped making dinners for my family. My husband would have to come home from a long day of work, and he had to pick up my slack. Our relationship really took a toll for the worse. All my energy that I had left over was consumed on my children. And so my husband and I lost that connection. I saw so many doctors. I went from my primary care doctor to seeing 3 ENTs in 2018. I saw an immunologist. I saw an allergist. I saw a rheumatoid arthritis specialist. I pretty much saw everybody but a cancer doctor. And in my mind at that time, I have told my husband several times, I honestly thought I had cancer and they just weren't picking it up. I had many lab tests done. I had an MRI, I had a CT scan, I had an ultrasound of my neck. I've had more tubes go up my nose and down into my throat to see visually what was going on, and they could never find out what was going on. I honestly thought this was just going to be my new life. In fact, I was told by a physician that I was just a young mom that was really tired, and it put me into depression. I remember just feeling like I wasn't worth anything. I wasn't worth anything to my husband. And it really hits my core because that's not who I was. And I wanted to be that better mom, that better wife, but I couldn't because I was too worried about myself. It was always me, 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 me. I'm not feeling good. Sorry, Avery, to my little girl who probably will remember these times the most, that I'm sorry I can't go to your dance recital or your dance rehearsal. I don't feel good. And I missed out on a Thanksgiving one year. I just was becoming this dark person. I've had so many dark days laying in bed thinking this is my life. And gosh, I get really emotional about it because knowing how good I feel today, it's crazy the journey that you go on to find answers. And so after that, I was finally referred, and it was probably August of 2018. So about 3 years of searching, I finally got referred to a GI specialist, and he's like, you know what, let's just do a scope. Let's see what kind of damage is in your throat. Your throat's hurting you so bad, your tongue is white, let's check it out. It came back normal. However, they did find that I had celiac disease, which wasn't even on my radar. It at the time, it didn't run in my family. Since then, there's been several family members that have been diagnosed with celiac, but I never showed the classic symptoms of celiac. So I was diagnosed with celiac, and in those 3 years as well, with my lab work, they did find out that I had mono, which is a strain of EBV, and then as well as CMV. And so I thought, okay, well, I do have some answers. I'm going to go gluten-free. I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to rest. I started doing celery juicing. And if any of you have ever done celery juicing, it's the worst 40 seconds of your life. You gag, you plug your nose, you hate your husband because he's like cheering you on to chug it. And it was awful. And if you guys know, celery juice now is like $3 a stock. So between my husband and I, because he did it to support me, bless his heart, we were spending $9 a day in celery. So you take 9 times 30, that's a lot of money in celery juice. And yes, I did find relief. I was feeling a little bit better. The gluten-free diet was helping. The celery juice was probably helping my liver. I got into medical medium a little bit, started learning more about the gut. It was starting to trigger me a little bit like, okay, this isn't just about celiac. This isn't just about a lot of immunotherapy to heal my own, to heal myself. And so in January, after seeing the last physician that told me that it was just in my head to go home, get rest, I'm a young mom, I'm tired, I was devastated. I thought I was at my end's wit. I knew this was not the life I wanted to live. And I'm kind of related to Nicole as far as there's a missing piece and I need to find it. And I'm so thankful to Nicole, who was brave, and she shared her story. It's very scary to share that you don't feel well. I didn't ever want to be labeled as the sick mom that always sleeps, because I remember as a child, I remember those moms that slept during the day. And I remember having a really good friend who her mom took a nap every day. And I was like, what is wrong with your mom? I was that person. I took a nap every day. So I'm just so grateful for Nicole, who I've known for probably 17 years. And I had no idea that she was so sick, and she probably didn't know I was so sick. And I'm just thankful to her that she brought up Plexus. I had never heard of Plexus. In fact, I was very skeptical because, remind you, I am a nurse and I had my blinds on. And I just said to myself, you know what? I've spent over $10,000 in out-of-pocket expense seeing natural and holistic doctors I'm just going to meet with her. So I met with her at lunch. She talked to me for probably over 2 hours. I remember her telling me that I had lost my spunk and my sassy self because she knew me in my young years when I felt good. And that hit my core, because if she thought that, what was my family thinking and feeling? And so after about a month and a half of searching the products, my husband and I did a lot of research. We decided to take the plunge. I'm now almost 9 months into the product, and I'm still feeling changes. Because of my autoimmune, I knew and was told that it wasn't a quick fix. So I had that expectation going into it. I've had many phone calls with Katie and Nicole saying, I don't think this is working. And I didn't realize that. Just think about all the years that it took you to get this sick. I probably have been brewing celiac and all of those harmful toxins and bacteria and processed foods for 15 years. And the average diagnosis for a celiac is 5 to 10 years. I'm pretty dang lucky that they caught it in 3. And so I would imagine that I've just had a brewing underlining, celiac that was just sitting there, and my symptoms finally got triggered and turned on when I had my baby. So I started the product in January. I did see subtle changes throughout the next couple months, but it wasn't until about April or even May that my candida completely went away. I do have before and after pictures. They are mind blowing. And I've told all of my friends, I cannot believe my poor husband who had to kiss my lips and my face with all that candida overgrowth. And the ProBio 5 that Plexus carries is the only product that's ever worked for me. I have spent over $100 a month in probiotics that I was getting off Amazon that was recommended to me. Didn't touch it. And neither did the candida pills that I was taking, or the celery juice for that matter. So I was spending way more than I have ever spent on a probiotic. And I'm just so thankful that they've designed such a great probiotic to break down that outer shell. To this day, I have stopped losing my hair. I do not lose hair. In fact, I'm growing hair I didn't know I had. I do not have a white tongue. I have lost 8 pounds, which I didn't need to lose weight, but I have lost 8 pounds. And I think that's related to the bloating and the discomfort, joint pain that I was having. I do not take a nap anymore, ever. I take my occasional Sunday nap because I really just want to get away from my kids for half an hour. But I do take a nap, not because I'm tired, just because I want to. I don't take a nap during the week. I'm a go-getter. I put dinner on the table. My husband has seen the change in me that he decided to take the plunge. And he is also on Plexus for different reasons. He's also lost 6 pounds. And he didn't have gut issues, but he says that his bowel movements are more frequent. I do poop 2 to 3 times a day on the clock every single day. I don't have to unbutton my jeans. I just feel so good. I have so much energy, and people around me are noticing it. I get told all the time, what are you doing differently? Because you look so good. And my answer is Plexus every time, because I haven't changed anything. I'm a very active girl. I love the gym. It is Plexus. I am more present for my family. I am more present for my children. I am the mom I've always wanted to be, and I feel better than I ever did in my 20s. And I'm just so freaking, I could scream from the rooftops that people share their stories, because we are just helping people feel better. And I'm so grateful for Katie and Nicole that they shared their story with me, because if they didn't, I'd probably be in bed right now. So I'm just so grateful. And Katie, I don't know, am I missing anything? Now she's busy.
Sorry, my kids just came in the door.
No, you're okay. Sorry, that took forever. I should have.
Jess, I love your story. I mean, you have been through the ringer, and I'm so thankful that at 32, you were able to get your gut healthy and get this under control, because what happens, I think, a lot of times is people don't take care of it because they don't know how, right? Because they don't have these tools, and they don't understand gut health is so important. I mean, I can't tell you how many stories I hear about people who go to doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor, and they're having all these scopes and all these scans, and they don't have any answers for them. And so this is why all of us on this call that have shared are sharing our stories, because there is a better way. These products get to the root issue. I mean, all of us on this call have shared different things that we were struggling with. I was just a tired mom who had anxiety, but Carrie dealt with migraines, and Nicole had gallbladder issues, and Jess has celiac. I mean, the reason why these products help everyone with all their different issues is because these are the root. I mean, this is like the base issue here is gut health problems. And so if gut health is something you want to get a handle on, Plexus can help you. If you are not living the life that you want to live because you don't feel well, that is your body's way of telling you that something is off. And I promise you, we can help you get your body back in balance. These products have such amazing blends, and the way that they're all put together, they heal and they can help you to get your health back and live the life that you want to live. So for those of you on this call that were invited here, just reminding you that we do have free enrollment that goes through tomorrow, and there is money back on that too. It's different for each person, so check with your sponsor, the person who invited you to this call. But I just want to thank you guys for joining us tonight to learn more about Plexus. I mean, my heart is full. I love hearing how these products have changed all these ladies' lives. It's pretty amazing. And there's more stories out there, but there's also more people out there that are struggling and suffering in silence. And it doesn't have to be that way. So anyways, I guess that's going to be it unless anybody has questions. I'm going to post this video and then you guys can share it with anyone that you think would want to watch it. But thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. And have a good evening, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you.
Thank you.